Hello everyone, this is me, Milan Tamang. Today we are going to talk about the meaning of literature review, its meaning, its types, and along with the research gaps. The today's course is Research Methodology EDMT 509. Our course facilitator is Assistant Professor Indramani Srestha. Now let's proceed forward. Now let's talk about the definition of literature review at first. According to Chris Whale, a literature review it is a systematic examination and synthesis of existing research, collection of existing research, theories, scholarly work, which is related to a certain topic, specific topic, and it is a comprehensive overview which is already known, and it identifies gaps in knowledge and it establishes a foundation for further research. It has varieties of advantages, few of which I have included here. So literature review documents study contributions, it compiles the study contributions, it always prevents the duplication, it prevents the repetitions in the research. Another, it justifies research significance. It always holds the significance, research significance. It increases the researchers, the explorers research skills. Another one is it provides research structure models. Let's move forward. So according to Chris Whale, there are four types of literature review. First one is thematic review. Second is theoretical review. Third is policy review, and the final one is empirical review. Now let's talk about thematic review. It is a type of literature which always focuses on organizing and analyzing the existing research based on the key theme, and the main goal, the main function of this thematic review is to identify the patterns of the research, relationships, and the gaps in the literature review according to the common ideas, concepts, and themes. So here are some examples I have included, which are as follows. Uh, First one, mathematical education. So what type of themes can be generated from this one? There are some themes. They are collaborative learning, technology integration, cultural context in mathematics, assessment strategies. The example based on it may be uh, a review analyzing how different studies address the role of technology in enhancing problem solving skills in mathematics education. Another example is educational pedagogy. The theme based on it may be constructivist approaches, scaffolding in learning, place based education. The example is a review discussing how place based education supports contextual learning in different cultural setting. Another one is the theoretical review. So it is a type of literature review which is specially focuses on examine and collecting, we can say synthesizing theories, models, and conceptual frameworks developed and used in a particular field of study. The main function, the main goal of this theoretical review is number first to clarify key concept. Means it provides an understanding of the foundational theories and concept that shape the research field. Another one is it evaluates theoretical framework, which means it assess the strength of the research, limitations, and applicability of various theoretical models. Another one is it identifies gaps in theory. Sometimes there may be the occurrence of gaps. So it highlights the areas where existing models may be underdeveloped, where they are lacking. So it tries to identify those things. So here are some examples I have included. That is collaborative learning in mathematics education, Vygotsky social learning theory, Piaget constructivism, and Barnard's scaffolding approach. Now let's talk about policy review. Policy review systematically examines and analyzes existing policies, regulations, rules and regulations, guidelines, which is related to a specific uh, topic, subject, or you can say field. So its main goal is to evaluate effectiveness, whether the policy achieve its intended objects or not. It evaluates. Another one is it compares with best practices. So it analyzes how the policy aligns with the national or international standard. So it try to compare among them and give the best policy. Another one is it recommends improvement. Policy review always recommend. It provides a suggestion, uh, um, complaint of the uh, public, and what it based on that it modifies and bring new policies. So some examples based on policy review are as follows. First one is education policy review. So the topic may be a review of Nepal's curriculum policy and its impact on social learning outcomes. The main goal, the goal of this policy review is to assess whether the curriculum meets the needs of diverse learning and aligns with the international education standard or not. Another one is the technology policy review. The topic may be the assessment of data privacy regulations in Nepal. The goal is to examine how will these policies protect users' personal data and prevents cyber threats. Now let's talk about the final review, that is empirical review with the research gap. So empirical review, it is a type of literature review that focuses on summarizing and analyzing the findings of studies that have used direct observation, experimentation, or data collection to answer research questions. The main goal of this empirical review are it summarizes evidences. It provides a comprehensive overview of existing empirical research on a specific topic. Another one is it identifies patterns and trends. It recognizes consistent trends, patterns, contradictions to establish a clear understanding of the subject. Another one is it guides decision making. It assists scholars, policymakers, practitioners in making evidence-based decisions by summarizing the best available data topic. So here are some examples. Let's talk about those things. First one is environmental science and climate change. The topic may be the relationship between urbanization and air pollution level. The empirical review may be it evaluate finding the related pollution trends, the effectiveness of policies and methodological used to measure air quality. Another one is education and technology integration. The topic is the impact of digital learning tools on student achievements. The empirical review might highlight trend in student engagement, learning, role of teachers training in effectively using these tools. Let's proceed forward. Now let's talk about the research gap. According to the Miles, the research gap refers to an unexplored and insufficiently studied aspect which is not explored or which is insufficient in our research. Uh, this is called a research gap. So it may be a missing piece of knowledge, a contradiction in existing finding, class, we can say, and a lack of application of theories and methods. So the 7 research gaps are as follows. Let's talk about each of them. The first one is evidence gap. It occurs when the research finding contradicts one another. Example, some students claim that remote work increases productivity, whereas others argue the opposite. So what is the importance of this evidence gap? It requires new studies to resolve this contradiction in the village. Another one is knowledge gap. So it happens when a topic has been underexplored or not studied at all. Example, lack of research on long-term effect of AI on mental health. Importance calls for new studies to generate missing knowledge. Another one is practical knowledge gap. It happens when the real world practices differs from what research suggests. Example, studies advocate for collaborative learning classroom, but teachers prefer traditional method. So the importance of this gap is it highlights the needs of applied research to bridge the theory practice divide. Another number fourth, methodological gap. So it arises when research in a field relies on a single method lacking diversity. For example, studies on social media addiction primarily uses survey ignoring quality interview. So what is the importance? It suggests exploring new method for better insights. Another one is empirical gap, which I have already told empirical. It happens when theoretical concepts are not empirically tested, not observation and experiment has been done. So example is the relationship between leadership style and employees engagement is discussed theoretically but not tested in real companies. It encourages empirical validation and theoretical framework. Another theoretical gap. It happens when a field lacks strong theoretical underpinning. Example, early research on blockchain technology had no established theory. Importance call for developing new theories or adapting existing one. Another last one is population gap. So it happens when certain demographic or groups are under researched. They are not researched properly. Example, most studies on workplace diversity focus on gender but ignore neurodiverse employees. Neurodiverse employees means those who are physically challenging employees. Importance, promote inclusive research. We have to give the equal importance, that inclusive research across all the populations. Now let's talk about the critical perspective of literature review. We have to know that this literature review is not just about summarizing or existing studies. It involves critical evaluation, research theory, methodological to identify strength, weakness, and gaps. Here are some critical perspective. First one is to analyze strength and weakness. Another one is identify gaps in research. Another challenge assumption and biases. Evaluating methodological approaches. These are the critical perspective of literature review. Now finally, let's conclude this literature gap, the literature review uh, at last. Conclusions are a literature review is critical in research. It identifies gaps, justifies significance, and situates new research. It summarizes and critically analyzes existing research. It leads to meaningful conclusions supporting new studies. Now another one is research gap. What are the conclusion? What I have concluded here is research gaps drive innovation. New things it creates. It helps structure literature review. Based on research gap, we can find different contradictions, underexplored things. By improving those things, we can structure, we can make a new literature reviews. It is essential for developing strong research questions. So these are from my sides, these are the presentations given by me. I hope you all have liked these presentations done by me, and I believe that you will follow my channel, this Shengbo, and motivate me to make further upcoming videos. So thank you so much. Have a nice day. Thank you.